everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Well, it has been 5 years since we have been active, and we've been uploading videos in our channel. There's so much things that happened throughout those years that we haven't been active, but one of the topics that we're gonna be talking about is this video: acquiring Swedish Citizen. What are the obstacles and what we have to do to overcome those problems that we have gone through. So let's get to the video. So what did we do? What were the obstacles that has happened between the 5 years, or between those time that I was living in Sweden and before I acquired my Swedish citizen? Yes, I am Swedish. I just got my Swedish citizen this year, and I'm happy that I got it, but also I am sad that I lost my Filipino citizen. Yet we can, or I can retain my Filipino citizenship by applying on the Filipino consulate or the embassy. So back to the topic. Yes, I am Swedish citizen. But before we talk about how I got it, so what did we do first? On the 3rd-year mark of me living in Sweden, we actually did apply for my Swedish citizenship, which was reasonable at that time because I've been living in Sweden for 3 years. And as stated on the website, you can apply for Swedish citizen when you're living in Sweden from 3 to 5 years. That was the rules at that time. So we tried, and we were pretty confident about it actually. Take note, my husband is Danish, and he's been living in Sweden during that time for around maybe almost 20 years. So we were pretty confident. We were pretty confident about it, with him being a Danish or part of the EU, and then me as a Filipina. I was like, okay, we can do it. But yes, so we applied. They're gonna ask you different questions. It's just questions, basic questions about you, where you're from, and then your current visa that you have at that moment. Like the basic information with you, and then your husband. How long have you been married? When have you been married? Where have you been married? Are you living together? And also that includes if you have a child. If you're also applying for a Swedish citizen for the child, of course you have to include the information that you are adding or applying also with a child. So they're gonna ask you also for your passport and all the information and stuff. Have you been working? Where are you working? How long have you been working? And the most crucial part for me at that moment is that they're asking about your income for the last 5 years. So yes, it's just questions that they can see that you have been living in Sweden, and do you have an income. It's more like, what have you given to Sweden for them to weigh whether you're eligible for it or not. So we did submitted the Swedish citizen a day after, or the 3rd year anniversary of me living in Sweden. Yet 3 days after that, we got a decision which is weird because I asked some friends, some people I know who are Swedish already that it was not that fast. They got more emails requiring different stuff. When we got the result, the email and all that, it was real that we got declined or we got rejected. It was sad because we have plans already if ever I get my Swedish citizen. But yes, there's no point for me at that moment to petition or to push through that I want them to look it through, that I want them to reassess my case, because also for us at that time we were not sure if it's gonna go through or if it's gonna be possible. But yeah, we accepted the fact that we got rejected. So fast forward to, how we should say, 1.5 year after being rejected with my Swedish citizen, my husband applied to be Swedish. He's Danish, and he's been living in Sweden for almost 20 years. It was so fast and it was so quick that he got his Swedish citizen 1 week after, which isn't fair, but yes, what can I do? What can we do? He's been living in Sweden for so long and he's part of the EU, because he applied because we were thinking if the first attempt we did of applying Swedish citizen was also because that he's not Swedish, he's Danish. Because we asked around among our friends, Filipinos or other Asian countries or other countries that's immigrant in Sweden, is that if your husband is Swedish, you could apply 3 years while living in Sweden. So they got their Swedish citizen directly because their husband is Swedish. So we did apply for him at that time, and then 1 year after, it's not even a year that we applied again, and that's like 5.5 years that I've been living in Sweden already. December 2024, we went back to Philippines. We had a trip. We had a 4 weeks trip to Philippines along with my husband's son, with my stepson. It's like his 18th birthday gift that we're gonna travel after 6 years of not him not going back to Philippines. It's like, it's a moment. We have to take him to Philippines to meet my family again. We waited half a year more for applying again, because the immigration takes or asks for passport and for your visa to be sent to them when you are applying for Swedish citizen. So we waited, and then when we came back, a day after we came back from Sweden, I applied for Swedish citizen. It was not planned, but we were just like, I think this is a good time. We're gonna apply. Also because the Swedish rule changed. It was 5 to 8 years for those. It's a new rule again. It's 5. They changed it a year before the 5th year that I'm living in Sweden. So it's 5 to 8 years that you have to live in Sweden to be able to be apply the Swedish citizen. So 5.5 years. January 14th, I applied for the Swedish citizen.